We start with our Newsmaker segment and talk about what may be the next center of strong economic growth in greater Kansas City. The riverfront area. The riverfront is under the aegis of the Port Authority, now called Port KC. The president and CEO of Port KC is Michael Collins, who once served as a senior aide to former Senator Kit Bond and also spent some time in the White House Office of Management and Budget. We are pleased to welcome back to Ruckus Michael Collins of Port KC. Michael, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me here, Mike.
What is the rationale for the Port Authority? I suspect most people are not well aware of what's going on at the Port Authority.
Absolutely. Port Authority, well, Port KC, there's actually quite a few in the state of Missouri. There's 14 port authorities. But here in Kansas City, our port district is the city of Kansas City, Missouri. We work on items such as transportation, development, and as well as trade and commerce. So we do have a functioning port, riverborne port, where we utilize the Missouri River to transport cargo. Some of that cargo today is going through, is coming from the Middle East today. And so we actually have a history of riverborne commerce that stems back from before Kansas City had a name. And so we're very proud of bringing that back to Kansas City. Of course, we do a lot of things at Richards-Gebaur Air Force Base, as well as Berkeley Riverfront, which is a lot of people are starting to see vertical development come from the ground.
Well, you know, for all the time I've lived in Kansas City, people who pay attention to such things as economic growth and development have asked the question, why isn't there more going on where Kansas City began, down at the riverfront? Right. Now there is a lot going on.
Absolutely. Well, to answer that question, Kansas City is over 300 square miles wide, and the greater Kansas City metro is even larger. And as we grew out further west, further north, south, east, you start to forget some of the areas that actually form Kansas City, and that's okay. That's what a lot of cities do. But what we've done over the last 6.5 years is take a honed focus on the riverfront, vibrant urban communities, urban downtowns that have waterfront. Some cities have done it very well. Other cities are behind us on the curve. But what we do know is that vibrant urban development cities across the country that have waterfront are looking at development first generation development like ourselves, or even third or fourth generation.
Well, there's a lot going on there now. I drove through last weekend, and you
Absolutely.
have a major complex under construction.
Yes, we do. We're working with a company out of Indianapolis called Flaherty & Collins. They are no relation to me, even though some of us share the last name.
I wondered about that.
No relation at all. But we're building one of the largest Phase 1 development, multifamily, mixed-use apartment complexes in Kansas City's history. 410 units, $72 million project that is coming out of the ground and is slated for late spring of 2018.
Have changes in the downtown area spurred interest in both the river market and the riverfront?
Absolutely. The economic growth in downtown, and you can really start to see it today, is really growing by connectivity of the development. And that pushes others to look at opportunities that maybe didn't exist previously, 5, 10, 15 years ago, because there wasn't any synergy. And now in greater downtown area, you're starting to see synergy. You're starting to see even the crossroads heading east. That's how you create economic development growth, is really connecting communities. And we see that at the riverfront.
Well, there's the streetcar downtown that goes to the river market area.
Yes.
Is it going to go and connect to Berkeley Park and the riverfront?
Well, we hope so. We're really studying it right now.
Who will decide that?
Well, right now, a feasibility study is trying to make sense of whether or not we can financially create a streetcar.
I thought there was enough money in the Transit Authority to fund that.
Well, I don't know. One of the things that we are looking at Port KC is really looking from a capital perspective of how do we get this financed, and then the operational perspective of ongoing operations to really make sure that we have a streetcar that is connected to the main artery of downtown that really makes sense.
But you'd like to have that streetcar go to the riverfront.
Absolutely. It adds more density to the riverfront, and not all waterfronts have streetcars.
And in just a few seconds, what else is going on there? What else could people go down there and take part in?
Well, absolutely. Right now we have a new lease called with Bar K. It is a bar and grill and restaurant, which will also have a dog park, a membership dog park that they're taking a lot of data. They actually have another
Hence
site.
Bar K, right?
Bar K, yes. They will be building there. We have an entity called KC Crew that has nightly volleyball events for the area. They're members. We have over 1,200 people per week going just to play volleyball. And in the future, you're going to see us look at adding more amenities for fitness.
And you'll have to come in and tell us about them when they get in position and ready to go.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much for coming.
Thank you very
in.
much for having me.
That is Michael Collins, CEO of Port KC. Now let's meet the panel and start a ruckus.